Where do you
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Big Chief channel. Joining you today is myself, your host Aaron Lee, as well as a familiar face. Now, today have a interesting topic, which is the reasons why people don't perform, and who else to bring on? None other than Azizan Amir. Welcome in, Azizan. How's it going?
How, everyone? How, Aaron?
Hello,
Thank
everyone.
you, thank you.
Welcome in, welcome in. Sorry about the intro. There are some technical issues on our end, but nonetheless, we are, uh, doing it on the fly. So, bear with us in it for a bit, and we will be getting right into the show. But first
Uh,
of all, Azizan,
mhm.
what made you think about this topic? There must be something that sparked your interest in this. Who pissed you off lately?
Actually, every managers we face every small percentage. For managers, one of the most difficult areas of their job is dealing with that small percentage of employees who consistently fall below standard performance level. Small
Right.
percentage, guys. It's not everyone. So sometimes these are the people that breaks our heart. These are people that makes us, that keeps us awake at night. So why I came out with this with title is because sometimes we remember about how we used to manage people and some of the problems that we face and how to resolve those issues. So I'm sharing it tonight on how to resolve some of the problems. So hopefully you can use that tips that I share in
Mm,
your
and sleep
daily
better at
work
night.
life. Sleep better at night, otherwise you have your you know.
All
Okay.
right. Awesome. Let's just jump right into it. So, how do we go about it, huh?
Basically, as I mentioned, for managers, one of the most difficult areas of the job is dealing with a small percentage, guys. We're not talking about 10%, 15%, probably just 1% of the people in your organization that consistently, guys, consistently, not just one off, consistently fall below standard performance level. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and these are the people that keeps us awake at night. And if we do not handle them correctly, then we would be having difficulty in managing the whole situation. It impacts the whole team and so forth. So we need to address
Right.
these issues very very fast.
But how do you go about addressing like the issues? Because you can't just go direct and start a fire in the office, right?
That's true. That's true. That's why one of the first things we need to do is before we do anything else, before we do anything else, find the root cause. What is the problem? Sometimes, most of the time, managers or leaders, or sometimes parents also, they start blaming the children, start blaming their employees, start blaming their people, the team members, without investigating. Yeah, so it's very important to go to the root cause. Very important because, as I mentioned in the titles, four reasons why people don't perform. How
Mm-hmm.
can there be four reasons? Someone will tell me that I have 1,000 reasons why people don't perform. That's correct, guys. But what we did was, we grouped them into four different categories. We bunched them
Right.
together into four. Yeah.
Right.
And what are the four? What are the four? They can't do, they cannot do, they can't do, they don't know how to do, they don't want to do. People will say
Hmm.
don't want to do. I have many people with this within this category.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is excessive interference. Yeah, excessive
Ooh,
interference. Very important. Yeah, very important.
that one
When we
sounds
talked about
interesting.
the, yeah, very interesting. All are very interesting. But sometimes, four reasons why people don't perform. Let's look at the first one. The first one is they cannot do. They can't do. Yeah, this, no matter how much you train them, how much you coach them, you still cannot get them to perform to the expected level. Yeah? Cannot
Hmm.
get them to perform to the expected level. Why? Let's look at the reason. Some probably because of what we call as mental or physical dexterity. Mental or physical weaknesses, guys. Sometimes people cannot do simple calculation. If you have to add, someone have to add more than 1,000 four-digit numbers, then they fail. So they have sometimes mental dexterity. And
Right.
sometimes, we've talked about physical dexterity also. Sometimes we are not, guys, why are we here tonight? Why are we not a policeman or police officer or an army officer because we probably don't have the physical dexterity. Yeah,
Right.
we have the physical dexterity, but we don't have the physical strength. Yeah, we don't have the 20/20 eyesight, or we probably during my time in the 80s, you want to be in the army, you have to have perfect vision. You have to be
Mm.
minimum 5 foot 2 inches. 5 foot 2 inches. That one I'm okay lah. Yeah. But then again, in some areas I may not have the energy to run 100 meters in a certain time limit. So guys, because of that reason, physical mental dexterity, we cannot do the job, cannot do. Sometimes it's also about the tools that is given to us that is prepared for us to work. The tools are probably outdated. Yeah, sometimes we need to be given the best tools to do our job. Yeah, at least tools that can make our job faster. So how do you
Right.
address issues like this, guys? How do you address issues? Sometimes this is what we call as a mismatch of jobs. A mismatch of jobs. If a person, because of mental or physical dexterity, they are mismatched, what you need to do, you move them out of their role. Move them out of
Mm.
their role. If you still keep giving them the training, they keep making mistakes, and the performance has not changed, then there's something wrong. Move them out of their role. Yeah. Or if they cannot do, give them the tools that is required. Yeah?
Right.
Give them the necessary tools that is required to perform better. So it's very,
Right.
very important, guys. Yeah.
So they have to understand
Right.
that these people is just it does just doesn't it just cannot lah, you know, just cannot lah.
Tak, tak boleh, cannot. They have reached the maximum of something and then that's it.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Oh, but by the way,
Cannot do.
speaking about managing people, I think I have to manage
Yeah,
the
yeah.
chat just a bit, just to invite the people who are on the chat. So, welcome in everyone. Andrew, Richard, Patricia, Michael, as well as Christine. Thanks for joining in. As we move on to the second point, please carry on, Azizan.
Right. First, we have let me give you the overview. Number one, why people don't perform is cannot do. They can't do.
Cannot.
Number two is don't know how to do. Don't know how to do. Yeah. Number three is don't want to do. Number four is excessive interference. Again, the second one that we will be looking at is don't know how to do. Don't know. This is related to knowledge, guys. But it relates to knowledge. It's very easy how to address it. You give them the necessary knowledge that is required. Sometimes through training, sometimes is just by giving them a book to read, yeah, or their SOP. So it's very important. Yeah? They want to learn, they want to contribute, but because of the lack of knowledge, because of the lack of training, they are unable to contribute. So
Right.
and these people they want to perform, they want to do their best. So provide training. We talked about provide training. We have training is three types of learning. Number one is formal learning. Formal learning is training. Number two is relational learning. Learn
Mm.
from successful people. Yeah, learn from successful people. And number three is experiential learning. Yeah,
Mm.
experiential. Do it. I mentioned this a few weeks ago. The Confucius did mention something. He says that I hear, I may forget. I see, I will remember. I do, I understand. So we need to do and we can understand. So,
Mm.
guys, don't know can be addressed easily. Yeah, compared to cannot do. Yeah, don't
So,
know how to do. Yeah.
So, how much emphasis do you think companies should emphasize on actually trying and doing and making mistakes rather than just the training part of the job?
Very important. We correct every mistake that is being done by people on the job or by probably our children doing their schoolwork is to correct them as soon as possible, as fast as possible. Yeah, as fast as possible. Don't wait, guys. Don't wait. Yeah, very important because failure is a feedback. Yeah,
Mm.
failure is a feedback. Sometimes you need to change things in terms of the way they do their work. Change, guys, is a sign of progress. So very, very important that our mind should be like a parachute. Yeah, our mind should work like a parachute. Why? Because our mind must be open. Parachute
Mm.
only functions when it is open. Yeah,
Right.
otherwise we will fall flat, yeah, splattered all over the field. So it's
Why
very
is it?
important. Yeah, very important.
Sorry. Why
You go
is it?
ahead.
Um, why do you think that these? I suddenly forgot my question. Please go ahead.
We'll probably remember that in a few minutes. Yeah. Then the
Yeah, yeah.
next thing is we don't know how to do. Okay. The first one is cannot do, don't know how to do. And the third one is, what's the third one, guys? Remember not? Don't want to do. And most of us will say, yeah, I have a lot of people at this. Yeah, don't want to do. We talked about people who don't want to do. In the coming episode, we probably talked about how to get these people to resign voluntarily. I will teach you how to do.
Oh.
But today, we need to manage them how people don't want to do. Yeah, they
Hmm.
have the skills, they have the knowledge, they have the experience, but they
Lazy ka?
purposely don't want to do. They purposely don't want to do. Yeah, sometimes you call it insubordination. Sometimes because
Mm.
uh, they are they feel heartbroken because sometimes managers may have promised them something and they did not get it. Yeah, and
Right.
someone else get it. For example, a promotion. Yeah, promotion. They did not get it. Someone else get it, and from then onwards, what happened is they just don't want to do anything. Yeah, they don't want to do anything, regardless. They have the skills and knowledge, the experience. But again, guys, when they refuse to do the work, it becomes not only a performance issue, it becomes a discipline issue.
Right.
People who don't want to do work that is required, yeah, it becomes a discipline issue. Guys,
That one like
if you
merajuk
have
already lah.
right. But Marajo is one thing, but discipline issue is another thing. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Discipline issue. If you have a person who has a discipline issue, you must address it immediately. You must address it immediately. We call it, in HR, what we call it a hot stove approach. A
Mm.
hot stove approach. Yeah. Why hot stove approach? Analogy. You put your happen. Are you going to wait until you smell something burning, a barbecue, or you immediately pull your hand? That's how fast we need to handle the situation. Yeah, people don't want
Mm.
to do. We must address it immediately because people with discipline problems, if you don't handle it as fast as possible, what happens? It becomes like COVID-19.
Right.
Yeah, it
Other people will
becomes
pick up the attitude, right?
yes, it becomes contagious. So you need to manage it very, very tactfully. Yeah, manage it very, very tactfully. So it's very, very important that you handle these people very, very tactfully, so that and also making sure that you resolve those disciplinary issues fast, fast. And if it's not handled, it's not handled, it becomes sometimes, the standards of work, not only for that individual, the standards of work for other individuals will go down. So very, very important that we need to address those issues.
Mm.
And in the coming episodes, yeah, we will look at with coming episode is we looked at how to handle and how to not to say get rid lah, but basically is to how to get these people to resign voluntarily from the organization. I will give you the tips on how to do it.
Give them a hard time.
Give them a hard time. Yeah, but make sure that it's not too obvious. Yeah,
Right.
and the treatment is the same like other employees, but guys, there are ways to do it. Yeah, ways to
Hmm.
do it. Also, look at yourself as a manager, as a leader. Look at yourself as a parent. Also, if you want to take action, find out what did I do wrong. Am I doing right or wrong? So these are some of the things that we also need to address. Yeah.
Right.
For example, would you, if you are a manager or if you are a parent, uh, how brave are you? How berani are you to ask your employee this question? How am I as your boss? Yeah. Sometimes question that you ask is very, very sensitive. And if you don't want to listen to the answer, don't ask that type of question. Yeah. So if you are brave enough, ask your employees tomorrow. Yeah. Or ask your children tomorrow, how am I as a father? Yeah. But you must be open enough to to hear the answer. And when you ask the question, don't put a face like this. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like holding a
Make
gun to the
sure.
head, huh?
Yes, yes, yes. Be open, guys. Be open. So very
Right.
important. Yeah. Right. Next one is we have talked about they cannot do, they don't know how to do, they don't want to do, and the final one is excessive interference. Excessive interference is sometimes people are taking too much work than they can handle, too
Hmm.
many on their plate. Yeah. Usually they are not yes men, they're not yes people, they're not yes men, but sometimes because of low self-esteem, they have a problem about saying no. Boss, I have enough on my plate. Yeah. So very important. Yeah. Very important. If you have employees who is underperforming, observe them on the work. Are they handling so much things? Are they handling so much things? So we need to, as a boss, we also need to make sure that we are aware of what our people is doing. Yeah.
But what if
So
the employers,
mm,
I see a lot of, especially those in the marketing field or advertising
you're
field,
right.
a lot of the times
Yeah.
you'll find that the employers try to push the employees to go like 120% every day, all day, every day. And
You're right.
if you're talking about companies like this, it'll be very rare to find that they would think that way, that oh, is my are my employees overloaded or not? What would you say if,
Right.
let's say, you're an employee in those kind of fields? What would you do?
You know, let's ask this question again. I ask a question. You ask a question, and I will ask a question based on that question. Is how many people have left your organization because of the way you manage them? Sometimes
Right.
again, is how we manage, or how we do it, or how we don't do it. So it's very important,
Oh,
and
turnover
it's
is very
all
high, but
or
but in
turnover
the
is very
end,
high. Yeah.
let's say
Mm.
I'm those companies, I would view it as one person leaves, I can hire another person for
Yeah.
cheaper.
Correct. That's true. You can hire a person for cheaper. You can hire them fast. There's a lot of graduates who are unemployed right now. But how long do you think that they can be as effective as the person who has left your organization? The person that left your organization probably has worked in the organization 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Or sometimes people leave organization uh, after so many years of working, and they not
Mm-hmm.
only leave organization with their personal belongings, they leave organization with what we call as institutional experience, the knowledge that
Right.
they have about the product, the customer, and so forth. So very, very important that by the end of the day, again, you ask the people this question: how am I as a boss? Yeah, is your employee ready, is open enough to give you an answer? So sometimes you need to check back,
Mm-hmm.
your situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you talked about excessive interference again, basically sometimes these people are effective workers, very good performers, but because we have the three types of individuals that we have within the organization, we have someone who have the don't know, someone who cannot do, and someone who don't want to do. Then we have someone who is very reliable. We have Aaron, who is very reliable, a very good employee. So I will take all the work from the three individuals that mentioned earlier and pass it to Aaron because he is reliable. And by the end of the day, what happened? Everything is on his plate, too much on his plate, and everything becomes a bottleneck. And he is not able to perform effectively as what he has performed earlier. By the end of the day, he gets burned out. The employee gets burned out. He gets frustrated. Yeah? And they will leave the organization. Sometimes people leave organization without a job, guys, without a job. But they just tak boleh tahan. They just want
Cannot
to
take it
leave the
anymore.
organization. They cannot take it anymore. So very, very important that we manage our people effectively. Sometimes we blame our people, but we do not look at ourselves. We point one finger at the person, and the rest, three fingers point to us. So we need to manage not only them, we manage also us. Yeah, so it's very,
Right.
very important. And sometimes things that leaders do make people leave, make good people live. Yeah, regardless, it's not just about the salary, guys. Yeah,
Mm.
sometimes it's the work life. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
is the stress or pressure. Every job is pressure. Every job is stressful. But boss are there to support. So it's very, very important that we support our people effectively. Yeah. So, so guys, so you have to take care of your people. You lose one person, how much does it cost? How much does it cost? In average, guys, it takes about 1.5 months, based on research.
Mm-hmm.
1.5 months to get a replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, as I mentioned last week, if you want someone boleh baca, boleh tulis, besok datang kerja. No, we're not looking for that type of people. We're looking for real talent, guys. Last week
Right.
we talked about talent. So we're looking for real talent. So it takes about, probably 6 weeks to 8 weeks for someone who is at the lower level. And it takes sometimes more than 2 months to get people to join the organization. And
Right.
we spend a lot of money during that time. Yeah, we spend a lot of money during that time. Yeah,
Yeah, you have to
and
spend a lot of
until
resources, right?
yeah,
Just on the
yeah,
interviews and skimming through all that.
right, right. So it's very important. Yeah, we manage it very, very effectively because people again are the backbone of organization. Yeah,
Hmm.
unless
Oh,
we have androids working with us, we have robots
yeah.
working with us, then the time has not come yet.
But it seems to be near with so much
Very
AI
near.
coming up. Hmm.
IR 5.0, guys. IR 5.0, co-working. Still co-working. We still have people working with
Yep,
artificial intelligence, people working with robots and so forth. But still depends so
that's
much
true.
on people.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mhm.
And I would like to extend a question to the audience. If let's say you guys have any questions about maybe stuff that you have dealt with before, or if you yourself as an employee have faced a challenging employer, maybe you can ask a question or two for Azizan to answer, as we got our expert in the house. If not, then we will conclude the show because I think that today we have quite a very concise and very compact full session, and I think it'll be good to leave on a good note. Azizan, would you like to wrap up?
Oh yeah, thank you, Aaron. So basically, guys, managing people is not easy. Treat people like how you want them to treat us. Yeah. So it's very important. Now coming back after the pandemic, people are very volatile. Very
Mm,
volatile, very uncertain about things, and we need to, as leaders, we need to make sure that we take care of them. Yeah. Organizations need to take care of them. Okay.
that's right.
So that's it. Yeah. Remember the four
Awesome.
reasons why people don't perform. All right.
Yeah. What is it again? Don't 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 know. No, don't do not. Don't know. Don't want. What is it?
Can't do, won't
Overloaded.
do, don't know how to
Can
do, excessive
yeah.
interference.
Yes.
Can't do, won't do, don't know how to do, then excessive interference.
I need
Yeah?
to write it down. But anyways,
Yeah.
thank you Azizan for coming on. Really appreciate your wisdom once again, as well as the viewers for tuning in. So thank you everyone for being here. We'd love to have you guys on again tomorrow. So do remember we are on every 8:30 GMT plus 8. If you would like to support the channel, we do have support links below. And if you would like to stick around for more, do remember to subscribe and like, share, and do that cool stuff. As we leave the studio right now, thank you everyone. How? Bye bye.
How?